This game, from the Dallas Cowboys perspective, reminds me a lot of Custer's last stand. For those maybe not all that familiar with history of our great country, let's just go back about, 150, 175 years ago. Lieutenant Colonel George A. Custer, he was in charge by the U.S. government of leading soldiers to try to push out Native Americans in the Battle of Little Bighorn. What happened during Custer's last stand? Him, all his men, slain, never to be heard of again. That's, I think, exactly what's going to happen to the Cowboys on Sunday. They're not dying. No. They're not going to actually slain. But their Super Bowl hopes are getting slain. And then, most importantly, after they lose to the Eagles on Sunday, they are to never be heard from again when it comes to Super Bowl discussion. I am sick and tired of hearing the Dallas Cowboys name thrown into Super Bowl conversations when anytime there is a big game played, they lose. You cannot be a Super Bowl contender when all you do in big moments is lose, and then the other times all you do is beat up on bad teams. I am sick and tired of the Cowboys losing close, calling it a moral victory. Oh, we're really right there. No, you're not. No, you are not. And when you lose on Sunday to a banged up, limping in Eagles team, the words Cowboys and Super Bowl can never be used in the same sentence again. Because you look at this game on Sunday night, a real contender wins this game. The Cowboys are not a real contender, which is why they're not winning. But a true Super Bowl contender beats this Eagles team. Look at the advantages Dallas has on paper. Jalen Hurts is coming in banged up, right? That knee injury is obvious, and it is hurting his play, especially in the first half. He has gotten off to really slow starts in the game, and that's been a problem for Philadelphia. So Hurts is banged up. That defense right now is leaking oil big time for Philly. And you had the 49ers go up and down the field on them, running the ball, passing the ball. They had no problems whatsoever. The week before that, Josh Allen had his way with that Philly defense. They are leaking oil big time. And you have now, I would say the 49ers, but also the Bills in back-to-back weeks, lay out the perfect game plan from an offensive perspective on how to beat this Eagles defense, and also from the 49ers perspective, defensively, how to slow down this Eagles offense. So really, if you go back to the last week, the 49ers laid out a perfect game plan for the Cowboys. How you beat Philly offensively or defensively. So that's fresh in the Cowboys' mind. Jalen Hurts is banged up. You have right now that Philly defense stinking. You have Dallas at home in this game, also at home this season, averaging 41 points per game. They're an offensive juggernaut at AT&T Stadium. Also, pretty damn good defensively. Third in total defense this season. Fourth in terms of points per game allowed. So again, you have a defense playing at a high level. An offense at home playing at an extremely high level. You have one of the best turnover differentials in all the league, so you're forcing turnovers. You're not giving the ball away a ton. And you go back to the first time these two teams met, back in Week 9 in Philadelphia, I would argue the Cowboys lost that game more than the Eagles won it. Like, you could easily say the Cowboys outplayed the Eagles despite losing the game. So everything going into this game favors Dallas. A real true contender wins this game when you are facing a banged up quarterback, a bad defense, an offense that at home for Dallas is lighting it up, a defense that's been really damn good. You're turning the ball, or you're forcing a lot of turnovers, not giving the ball away a lot. And in the first matchup, outplay the team you're playing right now. Real Super Bowl contenders win this game, which is why I don't see any way the Cowboys win this game. I don't. Because this is a classic Dallas choke job. Anytime you start to buy in and believe, anytime you look at paper against a good team and say, oh, this is a big matchup, but I mean, man, Cowboys got this one. they'll let you down. They find a way to lose. They find a way to disappoint. That's what I think we are going to see here on Sunday night. I don't see a way that Dak plays well, that this defense gets enough stops, that Mike McCarthy in a big spot here makes the right decisions, that penalties don't come back to bite this team, which they have a ton this year. I just don't see how the Cowboys win this game because for as long as I've been alive, at 29 years old, as long as I can remember watching football, Dallas loses these kind of games. And for me, the Cowboys got to prove it. I have gotten burned enough in buying into the Cowboys in previous years, thinking this is the year. Oh, it's going to be different this year. I promise you that. They're not going to be a pushover. They're not going to be frauds. They're not going to deceive us yet again. This talent that they have with how they play against bad teams, it's going to actually come through. And damn it, they're finally going to break through and win a big one. And each time they fail to do that. So with Dallas, I got to see it first before I believe it. I'm sure as hell not believing this week is going to be the week that Dallas breaks through here and wins a big game. And when they don't, we are having a new rule implemented on Hick At Nite right here on CBS Sports Radio, and that is this. When Dallas loses on Sunday, any caller, any person associated with this show, speaking on these airwaves, if they use the words Cowboys and Super Bowl contender in the same sentence, banned from the show. Banned from the show. We are not doing it. We are not doing Cowboys. We're not doing Super Bowl. We're not doing Super Bowl contender if they lose this game. And so until the next time, from Sunday until they win a Super Bowl and actually lift and hoist the Lombardi Trophy, those three words, Cowboys, Super Bowl, are never to be used in the same sentence on this show. Ever. I'm already in the process. We're going to have a sounder made for it, a little trigger warning as well. Those words will be banned because there is no reason to actually use them and no reason to actually believe before we see it that the Cowboys are true Super Bowl contenders. That to me is shown and proven true yet again Sunday night. They are not winning this game. They're not winning. This is a game that, again, leans in every way you look at it, leans to a Dallas victory. But in prior history, this also leans. These are games Dallas loses. Eagles win, despite that team getting embarrassed last week, despite Jalen Hurts limping into this game with one leg, despite that defense being awful. Eagles win on the road. I'm going to say 27-21. They sweep the season series from the Cowboys and send the Cowboys yet again into the dark depths of not being good enough.